from Personal Empowerment Academy. Thanks for tuning in. So today I want to talk to you about keeping your eye on what matters most. So this video is really for those of you who are chasing a really ambitious goal. So whether that's your business and you're going after a particular profit target, or whether you're in corporate and you're trying to get to that next level, get your next promotion. So it's for those of you who are really ambitious and working really hard and going after something that really matters to you. So in the context of chasing after a really big goal, actually what I think matters most is taking care of your health and well-being. And it's just remembering to have some balance in your life so that you always make time to prioritize looking after your health and your well-being. So whether that's your physical health or whether it's your mental health, so working on your mindset as well. Because really, if all you do is chase your goals and you're going after, in particular, financial goals, so money goals, those things don't really mean much unless you have good health. So if you think about, the reason why you're in business or the reason why you might be working really hard in a career, if it is to, go after a monetary goal, then think about what it is that you want to do with that money. So is it that, you want to have a better lifestyle? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Usually the reason why we're chasing after something that's financial is to do with a quality of life metric. So it really comes down to the type of lifestyle that you'd like to have that money can bring. So it's usually a combination of having money, but also having time to spend with people or spend more time doing what you love. And so all of that, so if you're working really hard on going after your goals to the point that you're working yourself into the ground, then what you end up doing is really putting your health at risk and jeopardizing your ability to enjoy that lifestyle that you're working so hard to achieve. And so sometimes, we kind of get these reminders or we get wake-up calls. And I've sort of had two recent bursts of inspiration, if you like. So one was just last night. So I caught up with some cousins and friends that I haven't seen in a little while. And we had a really nice catch up. And, we were just talking about health and the fact that, sometimes you can work so hard that you can reach the point that it gets hard to just recover from simple things like a cold because your immune system gets so run down, driven by perhaps stress at work, that your body just starts to shut down to the point that you end up needing a really long break just to recover. And so ideally what you want to do is not get yourself to the point where you've worked yourself into the ground and you're having to shut down and take a break from absolutely everything. So, of course, if you are in that situation, then the best thing you can do is just stop all the high pressure activities and give yourself that time to heal and recover. But I think, it's really important, especially as entrepreneurs, where you might set your own agenda every day, that you make time for your health. So your physical fitness and making sure that you exercise, making sure that you eat well, and making sure that you give yourself the mental stimulation as well. And so the second little piece of inspiration that I had, if you've been watching my lives for about the past week or so, you'll know that I'm going through a pretty big house move at the moment that's had a few challenges along the way. And one of the things when you go through something like a house move is there's just so much to do. Like you go through all the packing initially, then there's the actual move, and then you've got to unpack, and there's lots of cleaning and all sorts of things along the way. So in amongst all of that, it's really hard, as I've just found out firsthand, to maintain and sustain all of your business activities and all the commitments that in your head you think that you're just going to squeeze this move in on the side, and it gets really hard to do your best at all of that and cope with the sheer amount of effort of getting through a house move. And so something's got to give. And so I've found out personally that just reached the point where I needed physical time to be at the house and actually unpack and work through things. And so, that meant recognizing that, okay, I can't be everywhere at once, and I've had to let some people know that I'll be taking a little bit of a break from certain things on the business side just until I get settled in. And so, you know, I wouldn't suggest just sort of disappearing and bailing on your commitments. You still want to honor those, but if you are going to need a break, then you can simply let people know, and people will be usually more than understanding that you've taken the time out to let them know that you're not going to be available for a little while. And you know, if there's a way that you can sort of stretch things out so that you can fit in a bit of both, that's great. But sometimes that's just not practical, and you've got to pause one thing, get another thing done. And sometimes that helps too, because you can just focus on the task and get it done really well, and then you can come back and, you know, refocus and have a fresh start on your business activities. So that's what I've chosen to do. And then, you know, the last thing I wanted to throw in around that is, if you have been working really hard, so, you know, whether you're moving or not, if you are, you know, constantly working like into the early hours of the morning, or you know, pull a lot of all-nighters, like over time that's really going to catch up with you. And so, you know, if you have been doing that, it is really time to sort of take a breather, take a break from that, maybe catch up on some sleep, like give yourself a bit of a break, a bit of a recharge moment, and then rethink about, you know, a much healthier schedule, which, as I said, should be including things like exercise, a healthier, balanced diet, and time for some mindset activities as well, so that you have that mental stimulation and that balance all around. So yeah, today's video is really just, it was a bit of a reminder for me to sort of say, yeah, I can't do it all. Sometimes you just need to take a break and have a power nap, have a sleep and recharge, you know, because overall, if you don't do that, then the way that you suffer is your long-term health suffers, and then everything that you're going after and trying to achieve gets jeopardized anyway, and it's really not worth it. So if you're in that position, I hope you can be a little more kind to yourself and just give yourself a break and a recharge, and then you can pick yourself back up again in no time. So that's it from me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.